Hey there, Bill. Good to see
Eric,
you.
you too.
Hold on, I'm gonna
We
put on
appear
my
to
light
already be
here.
recording.
Yeah, I think it's already started. Really good to see you.
Yeah, you too. You too.
What a beautiful day.
I know it. Yeah, I took the dog for a walk today, and it was really windy, but unusually warm. So
Yeah, it was nice to go without a coat today.
right.
Okay, so we're here to talk about our traditions,
Yeah.
how COVID has impacted them,
Mhm.
and especially about the upcoming holiday of Thanksgiving. So I
Right.
guess we should just get to the Thanksgiving part because we're still doing the food deliveries.
Right. Yeah.
What can you tell us about that? Because there's a lot of details involved.
Sure. Yeah. Well, North has hosted the preparation of those turkey baskets now for several years, um, and in fact, to tomorrow, Saturday, um, I think it's tomorrow. Yeah, it must be tomorrow. They're bringing in um, people in groups of 10 to put those baskets together. Um, and I think that possibly today they'll be sorting some of the some of the canned goods and that sort of thing. And so they what they've done is they've created an outdoor um, uh, sort of assembly line and an indoor assembly line, and they have several um, uh, stations where they'll do it. So they're just trying to put these things together in a way that doesn't require a lot of people being shoulder to shoulder, which is normally how it's done. I don't know if you've ever been over there when we've put those together, but we're all sort of just wandering around the big room, uh, grabbing the items for the various baskets, and it's just you're stumbling all over each other, and it's a lot of fun, but it is a COVID nightmare, under these conditions. So yeah, they've created a way that they can do that safely, and of course everyone will be masked and wearing gloves, and um, so we're going to put those all together and have the baskets ready for the various agencies then that will come in on Sunday and gather what they need.
It's really an incredible project, and it's much more complicated now with COVID this year.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We've been doing this for a very, very long time, long before you and I came to Buffalo, I believe.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And every year, I think there's almost 500 deliveries of Thanksgiving meals.
Or more. Yeah, I mean, each agency has takes a bunch, and then we've also from time to time taken out individual, you know, um, turkey baskets to folks.
It's really so important. This year Thanksgiving is not going to be the same.
Not at all.
People,
Yeah.
people aren't gathering. We'll probably, I mean, our family, and I'm sure yours, just really internal family. And turkey. We actually, I don't know about you, but to even buying a turkey was complicated. I didn't want a 40-pound bird or
Oh no. Yeah. Yeah. In fact, usually when we go, um, we have trouble, I think, finding a smaller bird. Well, I think that this year apparently there are a lot of the large birds available. If you want one, if you can get a 20-pound bird easily.
Yeah, no, I was lucky. There are Tops here,
Mhm.
has a great kosher selection, and
Oh,
because
okay.
I went to Wegmans and they had the whole turkey, and I thought, oh my God, we're never going to eat even a quarter of this. Um, and so I went to Tops and I got just like the turkey breast.
Right.
That should be good.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I
Yeah, that's
was
what
very,
everybody likes anyway. That's the white meat. So
yeah. I speak for yourself. I actually like that.
I do too.
It's healthier, maybe, the white meat.
Probably it is, yeah.
This is a good opportunity. We thought that we would connect this way over Zoom. This is our normal pulpit exchange weekend, and it's really exciting. You're going to be coming to our service tonight.
Yep.
And be speaking at our 7:00 service. And I'm going to be coming over to you guys for your 10:15 Sunday service. But we also know we want to try to reach people. The conversation that we normally have, like sometimes even during service, is much harder. So we thought maybe it would be a good opportunity to talk over Zoom and connect in that way. So here we are.
Yeah.
So this is really crazy time. We're going. We're in Orange again here in our part in Erie County.
Yeah.
And I know each of us has struggled with trying to have just basic services. I know you guys have opened up or had opened up to indoor services, and we've talked about that. What has it been like under COVID for you?
Well, it took us a while to get the technology together so that we could have a live stream service. So when we started, in fact, I remember when this first occurred back in March. Probably the first call I got was from you, offering to let us use your building to do our services, because you already are doing the live stream, and that was really generous, but we felt like we needed to let folks see the sanctuary as much as we could. And so what we started doing was recording midweek a service that we would then put up on YouTube for Sunday. And some parts of the service were recorded in the sanctuary, and then other parts were being recorded in people's homes. So the YouTube would be sort of a collection of recordings that people would watch. And that went on for a while, but our hope was to get something more integrated. And eventually now we use a system called Boxcast that allows us to live stream. So on Sunday morning, we can all, it was so nice when we first started, even though we didn't have anyone yet in the sanctuary, to be able to do the service on Sunday morning. And I could at least, if it wasn't, it might not have been true, but it could have been that I could be talking to people as they're actually listening to me, rather than talking just to a camera that it was just recording. So that felt more like worship service to me. And now, since I think I want to say it's not been very long. Just since maybe mid-October, maybe even the end of October, we've had people in the sanctuary. But now, beginning this Sunday, we're going to suspend that. But we had to limit that, to a certain number.
Well, I love that we're both using the same streaming service.
You Boxcast.
And, I was talking to you this week and saying that sharing this technology, it sort of reminded me of the stories I've heard, like Westminster and Temple Beth Zion, when they had different building troubles that we can actually share. We actually were thinking about coming to you guys tonight. We had a problem with our camera. And, to be able to to be able to share and to help and support one another is so important, especially since we're so close together in so many ways.
Yeah.
I really admire you in hearing your story. I hear a lot of echoes of our story. I feel like the pandemic is about trying things, struggling, realizing things aren't perfect, and trying to find solutions. And we were on our way actually to having indoor services. We were hoping already to be there. But as soon as we saw the counts going up, we just realized it's okay. We're ready. We'll be ready when we're back down in yellow or in a safer period. And
Hmm.
that's okay. We'll do what we can. And I know people, we don't want to put anyone, just you and I, the same, or the community, we don't want to put anyone in any jeopardy. And that's really the
Yeah.
primary thing
Yeah.
that we're thinking about.
Yeah. And when I think about our services, there are so many elements in both of them that are similar. And that, there are moments in both services where people get up and they greet one another, and they, they haven't seen each other maybe for a week or two. And so they, talking very close to one another and shaking hands and hugging, and a normal life together, which felt just ordinary before. Now to think of people coming together and interacting in that way, it's scary to imagine. And so, yeah, bringing folks into the sanctuary again, that's a big step.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think we've really tried to figure out what is community. What does it mean to be connected?
Yeah.
How can we connect? Because a lot of it was very physical. Actually, I think we borrowed it from you, this idea of going around. You have the passing of the peace, and
Right. Yeah.
a lot
Yeah.
of Jewish communities started doing a similar greeting because it was wonderful that effect of feeling connection to one another.
Yeah.
I think you really can have a sense of intimacy with the technology even, but it just takes a little bit more work. Like I
Mhm.
feel intimate right now. We're not in the same room or the same space,
Yeah.
but we are together. I think that really matters. That's what I believe our primary directive as community is, to make those kind of connections together.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
You and I haven't been in the same room together uh, for months and months, right? I mean, I don't think we have. I think the only time this is the only way that you and I have seen each other.
yeah, we've had a couple of Williamsville clergy meetings
Yeah.
over
Yeah.
the time. That's a wonderful group, local group here. We're supportive of one another, and we also, yeah, we probably haven't been together in the same space, maybe even since last November, just because of how.
Boy, that's possible. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so I guess we should talk about what's going to happen tonight. I already said, just to let people know, we're actually doing things differently. And I know I've talked to you, Bill, about this. We're actually trying a little bit more complicated approach tonight. Our cantor, Arlene, is going to be with her husband, Mike, and they're going to be in their own home for the beginning, for the musical element. And music is the most complicated because, and I know you have a choir element as well in
Sure.
yours.
Yeah.
And so they're going to do that separately so they can feel fully comfortable and
Mhm.
also just have a wonderful, intimate experience. And then we're going to be in the sanctuary for the second half, and people will toggle between.
Oh, okay.
So it'll be very, very different type of experience. And then on Sunday morning, I'll be over there. And as funny as this world is, I'm going to be right beforehand in a Zoom with our religious school students, and then hop over to your service. So it's a really strange, wonderful world that we're living in. It's
Yeah.
really sci-fi. I think you like sci-fi too, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. This until I can actually beam myself somewhere, I don't know if I'm gonna really be, into this, but that's coming, I'm sure.
Well,
Um,
I always think about that scene from Spaceballs where he beams himself to the Mel Brooks character beams himself, and then he ends up backwards, and he gets so frustrated. It turns out he was just right next door. Uh, so I know I'd love to talk to you about Christmas and to find out how things are going, because we've kind of been through it with our own high holidays.
yeah.
That it feels ages ago, but some of the lessons, since that's the most similar experience and the biggest service, it has a lot of the same elements. How do you gather people?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I know you must be well on your way in planning. What are the
Well, we were, and we had been. I think we were sort of leaning toward doing a live stream on Christmas Eve and having a limited number of folks in the sanctuary, and then that service would be available for anyone to watch at any time after that. Now, with this latest surge and these, this newest situation, I don't know if that's going to be possible even. So we're going to probably be looking at creating a service that we will make available through YouTube for folks, but we won't be bringing everybody together. There were different options people had that we talked about. Do we do multiple services and have sort of, people come in shifts or whatever? But, that just, that would seem like it would just take a lot of coordinating. And now it's really just not wise for folks to come together at all right now. However, we are hopeful that we might invite folks to come. We have on our front lawn of the church sort of a line of evergreen trees, of pine trees. And so we're thinking about at some point inviting folks to come out, stand outside, well distanced from one another, and sing Christmas carols. Because the one thing that we have not been able to do, and as you know, is sing together. Even, in normal worship, we cannot sing together. We can have a soloist, but as a congregation, it's just too dangerous. And music, as you know, for you and for us, is just a central part of worship. It's really the heart of it in a lot of ways.
Right. Well, I definitely, I hear kind of the pain, and I've been feeling sad myself for everyone that celebrates Christmas and how complicated. It's even more complicated in a lot of ways than our High Holy Days, because at least we had better weather, and we were lucky that our counts were fairly low, so we could still approach somewhat of a normal experience. Not the same, but we could gather. And those kind of things are really hard right now. It's a double whammy. It's not only that it's cold, so you can't really do a lot of outdoor or extended periods, but we're also possibly even in red. I mean, it could be that the counts go up before they go down.
Yeah. That seems to be the trajectory that things are taking.
Yeah, it's very, very worrisome. And I feel lucky from our side where we have some smaller events we have to think through, but in general, this is a little bit of a quieter time. Hanukkah, we actually have a pretty Hanukkah's towards it's about 2 weeks before Christmas this year.
Okay.
Just for your folk or people that don't understand the way the Jewish calendar, they might say, why is Hanukkah bouncing around? Just to give you a little, I'm standing on one foot. We use a lunar calendar in the Jewish world, but because our holidays are tied to certain seasons, we have every 2 to 3 years a leap month, an entire 30 days added. So basically, we're getting towards the time where we would have another leap month. I think we have another year before that. And so next year it'll be even earlier. And then we'll probably be back with Christmas again. But we thought through it. And obviously Hanukkah is a little bit different. It's spread out over 8 days. So that's part of it. And the main thing is lighting candles. And actually over Zoom, it's a really nice option that we never would have had before. We've done candle lighting. You get to see into people's homes.
Right.
And, for candle lighting, there's no there's not a lot of singing, you're lighting, so it's very visual, and you can really see it's kind of, it might be really, really nice way to be able to do that on all the days of the holiday.
Mm-hmm.
And we put together a little video. We have a company that we worked with on High Holy Days, and so we're using or the person's name is Beth Stiles, and so we have a whole video program that Cantor Frank has put together in a wonderful way. I think she told me it's all of it is with Beth right now. And so we're going to be doing that on the Friday night. And if anyone from your congregation wants to join us, certainly everything is open. That would be December 11th on the Friday, around 7 o'clock. We'll have a live service if we're able, and then shift immediately to this video recording that we have.
Nice.
You know, what I find is that there's some actually beautiful new traditions. You know, they say creativity, you know, necessity is the mother of invention.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think, you know, like what you're describing, which may be able to happen, and I hope so, would be kind of a new tradition. And we saw that, I think you even participated during our High Holy Days when we had shofar blowing around town.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So it was really fun, and I didn't expect, sometimes when you're creating a new tradition, you actually don't know if people will show up. You have no idea. You know, it might hit a nerve, it might not. We did it in nursing homes as well, and we knew that the people would be there and would be happy to hear the shofar. But we also went to the network of religious communities for our downtown section and our synagogue parking lot. And it worked out so much better, and it might be something that we always do. You know, it's something that's new, a new part of the record.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's been part of this experience for us too. You know, I think up to this point we hadn't really thought much about the importance of providing an online option, you know, for worship. So we hadn't really put any energy into that too much, and you know, occasionally somebody would record something, you know, during worship or whatever, but nothing sort of that was programmatic. And so this has forced us into that, and you know, this will be now, you know, once we're past the pandemic, this will be something we'll be able to offer, you know, ongoing, and then we can, you know, build from that.
Oh, I definitely think even conversations like this, you know, are things that this, you know, this is a new way. So people could be in their homes. You know, we've traditionally offered classes. I think we should explore in the spring offering classes just on Zoom. And I think for our purposes, while it's not the same as being together, and some people might have a lot of struggle, you know, getting on it, it can be recorded just like this right now, sent out by email. You know, we can do it in different ways. So it's something that gives a lot of advantages. I think there's so much sadness. You know, here we're approaching Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Usually my family and I, we go down to the Philadelphia, New Jersey area, see all our family.
Sure.
And obviously we won't be doing that. But maybe we'll do some cooking together with our family and, you know, eat a little bit together. I've heard of one family who all lived local, that they're preparing meals together and then kind of delivering each of the parts to one another.
Oh, okay.
And then so when they eat, they have the same food.
They all have the same. Yeah. Okay, that's neat.
So, because that's one of the limitations of this time. And you know, there's no perfect way to really handle this situation. But I do believe that some of the things are even more magical, you know, and I hope that's like this with Christmas for you, because I honestly will say after our holidays, I am positive it's for me personally one of the most meaningful high holidays that I've ever experienced.
Mm-hmm.
And I could say that for any of the holidays or any of the life cycles that I've been through during this time. And I will always remember it. It's different. I
Sure.
know there was sadness with it, but I also felt so much joy just for the limited thing that we could get. So I hope that you can find that in your community.
Yeah. Yeah. Another thing that, you reminded me, we do some things with other congregations at, Shir Shalom, and then other sister churches. Our congregation has partnered with the University Presbyterian Church for a while on racial justice issues. And so we wanted to, create a forum for conversation during this period. And we had challenged folks in our congregations to read an article called 100 Things White People Can Do for Racial Justice. And then what we challenged the people to do is read it and choose a few things that you think you could do, and and try it out and see, so we can, and then we would talk about it. And so we did that. We got onto Zoom, and everybody was kind of coming in from the waiting room, how that works with Zoom. And this person comes in. I let him in and didn't recognize his name. I figured he was from UPC, but turns out he's not from there either. And so we were having our conversation. There weren't that many of us, about 8. And I turned to this fella and asked him, what his thoughts were. Turns out he's from Chicago. He had just stumbled across the registration because his congregation is involved in racial justice issues. And so he's been looking for outlets for conversation. And, and so we had this opportunity to incorporate and to invite folks from so far away whom we would never encounter otherwise. And that's really, I think, just a terrific, benefit to all this.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Some of the sweetest moments that we've had children that are now adults that grew up in our community that are now in far-flung places that have been watching again. And it's so sweet that they can connect with the community that they grew up in. We've had also multi-generations, which I really love, where you have the adult children like in their 20s and the adults and then the grandparents. We've for my religious school a couple of weeks ago, it was on my birthday, and I invited my parents and my sister in to the religious school conversation, and they shared about our relatives. So there are a lot of things that make me so happy. But then, you wake up and you realize, oh my God, 8 months have passed.
I know it.
And we're still in this thing.
It's incredible.
So and it's still just as scary.
Scarier in some ways.
Yeah.
Because now it's so much more broadly, present. Before it was on the coasts, and that was scary because we're part of that. But my mother in Illinois, not too big a deal where she is in Southern Illinois in rural area. Now it's a big deal there. It's everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere in the world. I mean, I was talking to our family members that are in college last week, and it's so scary. Like you'd think, well, we have a hard time here. Maybe they can go overseas. There's really. Right. There's really no, some of them are actually planning, like one of them might walk the Appalachian Trail or do like really outdoorsy kind of summer programs because those are at least options. And it's super hard, and it's extended, and it might go on for another year for all we know. It's
I think to a certain degree, we're always going to have this as a possibility. There'll be a vaccination and people will get vaccinated, we hope, but we're always going to be living with this illness.
Definitely.
Like we do the flu, and
Yeah, I definitely would envision every year we get our COVID vaccine with the
maybe with
the flu. And that would be, to get to that point, it feels good. If for me in my lifetime, it feels a little bit about that, like that period after 9/11, and that was more localized to America. But it definitely, everything was kind of out of balance, and you
Right.
really missed the thing, like just being able to walk through the airport and
Sure. Yeah.
not have security everywhere, and
Yeah.
not have to take off your shoes, all these kind of things that we've grown used to. Uh, it reminds me, around that period, I went to the Far East, to Taiwan, and they had already had SARS over there.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And so people always had masks. I would say about 70% of the population was still with mask on. And that
Right.
was several years after SARS. Back then, I didn't understand it. But now,
Sure.
of course, I couldn't imagine not, all of us will have our supply of masks and we'll be ready. And I guess this is what it means to live in intricate human societies that in a global world, that will spread like that. You can't stop it, but we
Right.
do have mechanisms to do that. So I
Yeah.
think we should probably bring a close to this conversation and
Sure.
invite people tonight, if you're still watching this on Friday, to come join our service at 7:00 at Shir Shalom, and then join with Pastor Bill over at the North Presbyterian service. I think it's on their website as well.
It is. Yeah. You can get that. You can get to it through the website for 10:15 on
10:15.
Sunday morning.
Yeah. And I hope it's a really meaningful time. It'll be good to see you in person.
Yeah.
As crazy as this is. And yeah, I wish you and your wonderful family, we've really gotten to know each other so well over the years. I just wish them health and happiness, and that your wonderful church. I can't tell you how often someone will say, "We're from your North Presbyterian, brother," or whatever. People, after all the time we've worked together on our joining our communities, I get it a lot. I don't know if you have a similar kind of thing, but it's wonderful. I always
It
love
really
it.
is. Yeah. Yeah. It's a terrific relationship. And yeah, I hope that you and your family have a wonderful Thanksgiving and have a lot of fun together. It's so neat to have three little ones to, well, not so little, but still a little magical.
Yeah, they're doing great. We're so proud of them. They've really worked so hard, and I know your kids are doing phenomenal.
And a new dog, right?
Yeah, we have two puppies.
Two puppies. Wow.
Crazy. That's the hardest thing, to be honest.
No leftovers.
Yeah. All right. So look forward to seeing you tonight, and all the best. Happy Thanksgiving, anyways, on this, and take care.
Yeah. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.